What's going on, good people? How we doing? Happy Monday to everybody. Good start to the week. Impromptu, late night Giants talk. I'm just chilling, man. Want to holler at the people. I don't have anything specifically that I want to talk about. I just want to talk. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Let the algorithm know we in the building, and to let other Giant fans know that we in the building. Quick roll call. Well, first of all, let me know if I'm good. Audio good, visual good. Let me know if I'm good in the comment section. Again, not planned. So I'm definitely going to be depending on the chat to keep this conversation going. But obviously, I can yap. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to Frenchie in the building. He said first. Shout out to Frenchie. Kevin Wilson in the building said, "What's going on, Dash? I'm ready for the show. You ready? You're more ready than me." I'm just, like I said, I was sitting on the couch. I was watching the Yankees game a little bit, and then I felt like doing the mock draft, so I started doing the mock draft, and I was just like, let me see what the people doing, man. See how everybody doing. Coach Ed in the building. What's going on, Coach? Miguel is in the building. Corinne in the building. Big brother in the building. What's going on? Money Mike in the building. Kenya in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building already. Erlan said, what up? What's going on, man? Miguel says DJ Rita was in for a visit. Yeah, man, I saw that. Probably one of the things I wanted to talk about too, because shout out to my man Spogie. He hit me up. He was like, you think this is a replacement for Dex in case we trade? I'm like, nah, this is somebody that we were interested in already. We finally got him in the building for a visit. Didn't hear any other news, so most likely not happening, but we'll see what happens with that. I also saw the news that as far as 30 visits go, I think Ted Hurst made the list, so that's pretty good too, because I know a lot of people like Ted Hurst. C. Barkley, what's going on, man? How y'all doing tonight, man? Casey legit in the building. Frenchie says, let's talk some New York football. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going to do. Big bro told you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to do that. Again, shout out to the 30 people in the building. Just hit the like button on the way in. That's all I'm asking. Thank you for letting me know that I'm good. Vocals good. Okay, audio's good. Luann, what's going on, Luann? Smooth said, let's go get Reed. I think so, man. We should try to get him. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. Juan, what's going on? He says 10 days to the draft. Let's go big. But I think that might be it, too, man. The closer we get into the draft, the more anxious I'm getting. The more, like, I already have the Giants in my mind damn near 24/7. But I think it's just a little bit more. It's ramped up a little bit more, man. So, let me know. Last time I checked, Luann, the Yankees were still winning. That was about 25 minutes ago. So let me know what the score is now. Q Burrow in the building. What's going on, Q Burrow? Let's be Giants. What's up, Dash? What's up, Giants? It's another family reunion. Coach Ed, you said you're watching WNBA. Okay. Jessa. Yo. What's going on, Jessa? Rev in the building. Excuse me. JC in the building. What's going on? C. Barkley said, Dash, will your belief in Harbaugh fade slightly if we draft Love at 5 with Styles still on the board? Belief? No. I'll be upset, man, but I still got to understand who we're talking about. We're talking about the Harbaughs. That Harbaugh tree, they like to run the ball. So if they went with Love, I wouldn't be surprised. I think all of these months leading up and all these rumors talking about how highly interested the Giants are in Love, I don't think my belief. I mean, I had time to already, get used to the idea of it. Now, if there wasn't any rumors and we just got into draft night and we drafted Jeremiah Love, then I will probably be a little bit upset about it. But I'm not upset anymore about it now. Like right now, I wouldn't like it, but it wouldn't shake my belief in Harbaugh. Again, Harbaugh, 18 years with the Baltimore Ravens. Big Dash, never played in the NFL ever. So, man, I got to trust in the coach, man. Until proven otherwise. That's what it is. And I do think Harbaugh knows what he wants to do, and hopefully he can execute it. I'm more worried about this defense, to be honest, though. I'm more worried about what we do. Why Tucker in the building said Big Dash was good. Cali tapping. And what part of Cali you from, Tucker? I spent some time in the Bay Area, man. What's going on? D Brown. What's going on, D Brown? Said, good evening, Big Dash and Big Blue Nation. Let's go. That's a fact. Let's go. And don't forget, just a reminder, Wednesday night, late night Giants talk, Big Dash draft talk, special guests, Bobby Skinner, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys stay tapped in for that. Money Mike said Rita and Zeitler would be great. I still want Greg Van Roten back, man. I was watching Justin Pinnock. He did a video, I think it was with Sean Marash, and one thing he said was, I would just feel better if we had GVR on the squad. It would just calm my spirit if we just had GVR on the squad. I would trade Daniel Falele and Lucas Patrick right now just for GVR. That's how much GVR would ease my spirit as well. So I agree with Justin Pinnock with that. Tony Benino, what's going on? Tony says, Dash, if Styles and Downs were both available at 5, who do I think Harbaugh would take? That's a great question. We know Harbaugh likes safeties, man. Harbaugh really likes his safeties. But in all honesty, I think our safety room is pretty crowded. And that linebacker room is pretty bare. So I would hope he would go with Styles. But I don't think you can go wrong with any one of those guys, to be honest. It's just what you're looking for. But you know me. It's Styles. Harbaugh might go down because he liked the safety spot so much. Possibly. And when you look at our safeties, Holland is a question mark. Newbin is a question mark. Our Darius Washington is a physical, depth piece guy. Pinnock is a solid backup. So if you're looking for that starter as safety, you can say that for Downs. But if you're looking for that starter at linebacker, it could be Styles. I'm just hoping Love is off the board by the time we pick at 5. That's it. That's it. Because if Love is on the board, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be real nervous, man. Man, Frenchie, what's going on? Why Tucker said he from San Diego. Shout out to San Diego in the building. Frenchie said, I'm on the Sonny Styles train, but if Love is there, I really think we're going to make the pick. Again, I got nothing against Love. I'm just against a running back at 5. Nothing against Love. Just me strictly thinking about what the New York Giants need versus what a lot of people want. And that's it, because Love is fantastic, for sure. Love is absolutely fantastic. Luann says, not Zeitler. We cut him because he wasn't good. No, we didn't cut him. If I'm not mistaken, we traded Zeitler, right? We sent him to the Browns for something. I don't think we cut him. I think he was part of a trade package. Somebody got to refresh my memory. But I don't think we cut him because he wasn't good. We might have let him walk, too. I'm trying to think now. But he played well for us. He's a little bit of a false starter, though. Remember, he used to have that extra, rock in it, in his line. I mean, in his stance. Q Burrow said, you acting like GBR is a savior. He's okay. And that's still a stretch. He was the third best lineman on the squad, man. If we're gonna be honest, Q. Third best lineman on the squad. He after Thomas, after Illuminor, it was GVR. Then it was JMS, and then Runyon was the worst. So if I'm gonna be really honest, it was our top 5 linemen last year in order: Thomas, Illuminor, GVR, JMS, and Marcus Bowe. That's how bad Runyon was. If I'm just being honest with you, that's my opinion though. I could be dead wrong. Zeitler wasn't all that. I don't need a bunch of people that's all that, man. I just need solid. And right now we don't got solid because it's Q Burrow. Let me know how you feel about Falele, Evan Neal, Joshua Zudu, and Lucas Patrick. Let me know how you feel about those guys. Because it's about it's about not getting Jackson Dart killed next year. That's what it's about for me. 7-4 Yanks, thank you very much. He was a cap casualty. That's what it was for Zeitler, cap casualty? Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to figure out who. I thought he was a part of a trade. If he's a cap casualty, maybe. Who did we replace him with then? Who was? What year was that? It was at 20. That was right before Dable and them got here, right? Yeah, it's crazy. El Bethel, what's going on? Zeitler was previously acquired by the Giants from the Cleveland Browns, and that's what it was, 2019, in exchange for linebacker Olivier Vernon. But what did we do when we got rid of him? Because that whole Zeitler thing, that was part of the OBJ and all that deal, right? Well, we dealt with Cleveland twice that year, and Olivier Vernon was part of one of those deals. Ty Jetson says, Dash, what's good, big homie? The offseason is always exciting with the trades and drafts. What I can't wait for is the last preseason game and see that final roster. That's when we see what's up. Yeah, man. That final 53 is going to be something too, man, because it's for what? It's going to be some good players that possibly get cut. When's the last time the Giants had good players getting cut that'll get picked up by another team? You know what I mean? So I'm excited for it. Born for Sports is in the building. What's going on, Jorge? If you guys are not subscribed to my man Born for Sports, make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Fantastic New York sports content creator, not just a Giants content creator, but New York sports content creator. Also, he's a Mets fan out there too, just for those that know. He's a Mets fan. You know, some people think he might be a Yankee fan. Now he's a Mets fan. So what up, Dash? I see you out here chopping it up on a Monday, so I know draft time has gotten real. That's a fact. I'm keeping the same energy, trade down if possible. Give me Downs or Ioani. And stay at 5, draft Styles and Downs. That's what's up. NJ Rufus, what's going on? Got 90s Aura says, Dash, why haven't we put Neal at left guard next to Thomas? Neal mostly played left tackle at Alabama. That's true. Flipping messed his footwork up. Runyon not good enough to say he's not moving. Put Bo at right guard and just go young. I'm lying. I was about to lie to you. Got 90s Aura. I was about to lie. I don't want to move Marcus Bo inside because I believe he has the feet to play outside. One thing that I was thinking about is obviously you got Illuminor signed, sealed, and delivered at right tackle, making a decent amount of money, right? $13 million is a budget deal for the New York Giants. If you really believe that Marcus Bo could be, something for the future, maybe after this year you kick Illuminor inside, because I don't know if Marcus Bo can hold up on the inside, or have him start snapping the ball too, man. I was having this conversation with my man Mark Thompson yesterday. We talked about Marcus Bo, and obviously we got JMS coming up as a free agent. Runyon is going to be a free agent. Everybody that could be tried out on the right side is going to be a free agent. We got to figure out a spot for Bo. I think he's good enough to start. We just got to figure out where he's going to start. And I would get him as versatile as possible. Right now, he's still listed as a tackle. I think with all of the guards we are throwing at the position right now, they're probably going to keep him at tackle, keep him as a swing tackle, and we got to live with that. But I wouldn't mind kicking him inside as a last resort, in my opinion. But I would definitely take a look at him because he is one of the top 5 offensive linemen we have on the squad right now. Last year he was, this year he is too. Shout out to my man Tucho in the building with the $4.99 super chat. Says salute and respects to Big Dash, king of New York Giants media podcast, and all diehard Giants fans across the pond. Greetings from our entire club, spring camp in Italy. Cheers. Y'all don't have no time off, do y'all, man? Y'all was just playing, now it's spring camp. Do y'all get it? Is there an off season in rugby? You was home for what, like a month, maybe? But shout out to you, man. Shout out to the team, too. You guys are hardworking out there. Man. Best of luck for spring camp, man. Hopefully everybody stay healthy. But how much time do y'all get off? Do you get time off, man? Do you? Oh, man. JDJ, what's going on? Monday Night Dash, what's going on? Now, I was chilling. I was going to do some mock drafts. I got it queued up right now, too, man. So we can actually do some mock drafts, too, as long as the bandwidth allows it. Tired all the mocks and draft discussion. I'm ready for the 23rd to be here already. Well, we might be doing a mock draft right now, so you might just be sick of it again. Tuto getting some love in the chat for sure. Melvin, what's going on? He says, what up, Dash? You want to trade down from 5 or just stay and pick at 5? It just depends on who's there. And also depends on who's calling and what they're offering. Ideally, I don't want to drop out of the top 10. But how many people in the top 10 are willing to trade up, depending on who's there. But yeah, I'm open to it for sure. Pause. Let's see. A lot of love for Tudo in the chat for sure. Corky, what's going on? How you doing, man? He said I'm staying for the mock though. I appreciate that. O-line edition mock draft. We can do that too, man. You know what? Yeah, we can do that. I'm not going to do like a full, 7-round, even though we don't have, a 7th-round pick. I'll probably just do 1 through 4 rounds, 1 through 4, maybe 5, since we don't have a 3rd-round pick, and do a couple mock drafts and chop it up with you guys, man. Let me know if you guys want to do that, man. If not, we could just chop it up. See, Barkley say, "Hey, Dash, are you going live during the draft?" It's looking like I might, possibly, maybe. It depends. It depends. It depends, man. It depends. It's more than just me in the house that likes football, and I know my wife is interested in the draft too. She got to wait a while for Pittsburgh to pick though, but we'll see. Possibly. I know I'm going live the day before the draft, so we'll see what happens. Kenya said, "Let's do it." Mock draft. Yeah, you can do a mock draft for sure. What the hell? Might as well do it. Hold on, let me get it queued. It was queued up. Let me go ahead and share the screen. That way we can do this mock draft. Give me just a moment. We in here. Are we in here? We in here. Perfect. Let me take the comment off the screen. That way we can see it. Minimize the screen just a little bit. I gotta put a little bit of music on in the background. It is dry right now over here for me. Let me see. Go that. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, man. We're gonna do 5 rounds. We'll do 5 rounds. Actually, no, we're gonna do 4 rounds. We'll do 4 rounds. New York Giants, and then let me know if you guys want to do like a full mock first round for all the teams. Actually, I don't know if I want to go. That might be stressful. That might be a little bit stressful. Let's get this mock draft going. All right, see, man, this would be lovely if it played out this way. Fernando Mendoza goes 1 to the Raiders. Arvell Reese to the Jets. Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals. David Bailey to the Titans. All right, then let's talk about it. I already see you guys in. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. We're gonna let the chat drive this one. Let the chat drive this one. What's going on, Phil? Shout out to Phil with the $5 super chat. Says Dash. They say the guard Keelan Rutledge is like Scatterable. I try like heck to draft that guy. We need crazy dudes that want to knock heads off. Nah, he's absolutely that. They got pictures of him, helmet off, blood running down his face. Yeah, he's a tough guy too. He looks for work. I like Keelan Rutledge a lot. Some people saying that the Giants could draft him at 37. I still think that's high, but at the end of the day, I think he's a solid option too, man. Big body guard, athletic enough, got the temperament that you want. I'm all in. I'm all in on Keelan Rutledge, man. I wish we had a 3rd-round pick because I would definitely take him in the 3rd round. But that's just where we're at right now. Shout out to Tyon. He says with the $2 super chat says, only way we should trade down is if Styles is gone. All right, so here we go. Let's get to the comment section. All right, so starting right now. So if you wrote something down prior to me saying this, wipe it out. And we're going to go, where we going at with 5 right here? New York Giants picking right now. We got Styles on the board. We got Ruben Bain on the board. Francis Maui Noah on the board. Caleb Downs on the board. This would be fantastic at 5 to have all these options, man. So Delane is there too. Trade down and take downs. All right, let's look to see who's calling. So right now we got, you guys probably can't see that. So when I hit the drop down, we got the Rams calling with pick 13, Pittsburgh calling with 21, Chicago with 25, Green Bay Packers at 52. So nobody in the top 10 is calling. Are you guys willing to drop all the way back to 13 to trade back with the Rams? Let me know. They got 13. They got 61. Pretty sure you can get that deal done. Yeah, I could probably see if I could try to get it. I'd even get a 2nd rounder. Let's see what they say when I do a 1st rounder. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna keep that keyed up. See what happens. Shout out to NJ Roof was in the building with the 1999 super chat. No comment though. Let me know what you got to say. Appreciate the love and support. I saw you comment earlier too, man. Appreciate the love and support. J3 said, hell no. KC legit said, yeah, for the right price. C. Barkley said, no trades. Q Burrows said, do it. Karen Rock said, no. Kevin Wilson said, no. Let me add, listen, shout out to D-Dan in the building too, man. Just realize when we talk about trading back, right? I understand the additional picks. Once you get to 13, like, you got to understand how many people and prospects you passing up on. That, like, all the people, like the cornerbacks are gone, the wide receivers most likely are gone. You might see Lemon there, but he's a slot slot receiver. The guard from Penn State might be there at 13. It's a chance. Jordan Tyson can be there. So if you guys want to do this, we can do this. Again, we can do a couple of mock drafts. We'll see what happens. But I'm seeing some people say no trades, do it. Shout out to DG said, well, yo, what's up, Dash? Haven't made a live stream in a while. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good, man. Hopefully you doing well. I hope everything is good with you. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Q Burrow said, I thought this was an O-line mock. That's what we want to do. All right, well, let's vote, man. We're going to put some votes out there. For this particular one, we're going to stick and pick because I don't want to trade out of the top 10. We're going to do a stick and pick. So we got Sonny Styles, we got Maui Noah, we got Caleb Downs. Maybe Mansour Delane, I'll add in that too. You know what? We'll vote on these guys. We vote on Styles, Maui Noah, Downs, Delane, and Tate. That's the options right there. And let's see what happens. And if it's really an O-line draft, let's see what the votes and what the people say. I got 2 for Downs already. My man Prentice said 10 is the cutoff point for blue chippers. That's a fact. We got 1 for Maui Noah. A-side boxing. What's going on? How you doing, man? Shout out to Jersey in the building. J3 says Downs. So we got 3 for Downs, 4 for Downs, 1 for Styles, 2 for Maui Noah. Downs is having it so far. So 5 for Downs, 3 for Maui Noah. We got Kevin Wilson cheating. He put Downs, Styles, or Downs. Now we ain't doing that. You got to pick one. See, Barkley said we need a tough linebacker for our division matchups. Styles all the way. Styles with the comeback a little bit. We got 7 for Downs, 5 for Styles, 8 for Downs, 6 for Styles now, and 4 for Maui Noah. Downs is about to run away with it. Okay, Maui Noah, Styles. Make up your mind, man. Right now, the Downs have it. Phil said with the $2 super chat, he said Styles dash hit the button. Right now we're at 10 for Downs and 8 for Styles. And then we got 5 for Maui Noah. So right now, in order to tie it up, I need 2 more for Styles, T-Rex, Baines. You just throwing a monkey wrench in the game, man. J3 says Downs football IQ unmatched along with his play gold jacket type of guy. I like Downs a lot, man. Don't hit nothing but Downs. The Downs got it, man. So for this mock draft, again, this is the first one. I don't know how many we doing. We vibing on tonight. We're gonna go with Downs. You got the people that wanted Styles was just a little too late. So we're gonna go Caleb Downs in this one. And maybe we can do it for the next one. All right, let's see what we got going on. Okay, so we went with Downs in the first round. See, Barkley said we couldn't stop the run. We need Styles. You got to convince your people, man. They were slow with the Styles votes, man. All right, so now we picking at 37. I already know which way I would go. I would definitely go guard here with Emmanuel Pregnon, but we're going to vibe with y'all. Luann, you late with the Styles, Luann. You late. Where was you at 2 minutes ago? All right. So let me see. We got Pregnon here. Lomu is here, but he's a tackle. He might be able to kick inside. Lee Hunter is a guy that I like. Cornerback Brandon Sissy is here. Jacob Rodriguez is still here. I'm definitely picking up the phone to see who's calling. Right now we got the Cleveland Browns calling. They got pick 39. They got pick 70. They got pick 107. I know you guys can't see it. The only other person calling is Tennessee Titans at 66. Definitely not doing that. So I just want to see. Let me get 39 to 70 for 37. They're not going to do that. Nope. Let me see if I can do a pick swap. They don't want to do that either. So 30, we might have to stick and pick again. 39 and 70 for 37 and 105. They don't want to do that. So let's see what we're going to see what the chat is saying. See what the chat is saying. I'll probably go Hunter, Pregnon, or trade back, try the 3rd round pick. I'm going to try to see if they accept it. We'll see what happens. DT got to get Deck some help. Yeah, the Pregnon got to get Dart some help too, man. There's some other defensive tackles that might be there a little bit later. If it was Christian Miller, maybe. If Peter Woods dropped, maybe. I'm leaning guard here, man. I'm leaning guard here, or possibly linebacker. Nova, what's going on? No, he said sign Reader extend. I thought you was breaking news really quickly. I thought you you said we signed Reader. Yeah, we trying to sign Reader. I almost got happy for a bit, man. Pause. Trade back at 37. Can we trade down at 37? Right now, I'm scared to press the offer trade button because they might accept it. So I'm going to ask you guys, do we try to get 39 and 70 for 37 and 105? Let me know. The barbecue pitmaster, that's a fact. The barbecue pitmaster, yep. Should I try to trade? Yes or no? Try to trade? Trade. I'm not trading picks. I mean, trading players in the mock draft, man. Try to trade. Let's see if they accept it, though. They might be dumb enough to accept it. Let's see. They dumb enough to accept it. Cooking with grease. Dumb enough to accept it. Good. We got a 3rd round pick. There we go. Now, let's continue. All right. We only had to fall back 2 picks. And Emmanuel Pregnon is still there. And we picked up a 3rd rounder. So we in business. We're in business right now. Rodriguez is here. The guard is here, though. I mean, let me just make sure you guys are familiar with Emmanuel Pregnon. You see the scores first off. Run blocking 85, pass blocking 88. Look at the zone blocking grade. All right with the gap grade, but his true pass set blocking grade is 85.1. But 6'5", 318 pounds. Woolly mammoth. A little bit older though. He almost 25 years old, so that might get held against him. But again, you see the stats, you see the grades. All right. So we got Pregnon still there. We got Jacob Rodriguez still there. I still like D'Angelo Pons a lot, man. I still like D'Angelo Pons. You got the wide receiver Chris Bell, but he's coming off a knee injury. Chris Johnson is a solid pickup too. I want to see who's calling. We got the Saints calling with 42. Man, I'm not gonna try to do that. That's crazy. Bananas. No running back, please. Guard hands down. That's what I'm thinking. You can get Rutledge at 70. Should I try it? Phil? You know what, Phil? I'm gonna be mad if I don't take Pregnon here and Rutledge ain't there at 70. I'm gonna be a little upset, Phil. I'm telling you that right now because I was all in on Pregnon until you said I can possibly get Rutledge at 70. J3 said Pons is cool, not in a second. If Pons was 6 foot, he'd be a 1st round pick all the way. Just because he's 5'9", what is he, 175, 180 pounds? That's the only thing that's holding him back because he's strong as hell, physical, fast as hell, good football IQ, played a lot of snaps for sure. Guard, I think I might go guard here too. Do I take the chance? We get more protection for Dart. Yeah. I'm overthinking it, right? I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. We get more protection for Dart and have a 3rd round pick. Now that's a fact. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing. We're gonna go Pregnon here. All right, we're at pick 70. And of course, Keelan Rutledge is here. Let me move that out the way. Of course, Keelan Rutledge is still is available. Of course. Somebody saw that coming. Mike Washington is available right here too. Elijah Surratt is available. We didn't take a wide receiver yet. So yeah, this is an interesting pick right here. Double dip. Double dip at what? We got this. Let's go back. Where are we at? Let's recap, right? We got Caleb Downs, Emmanuel Pregnon, and we sitting here at 70, and we could pretty much go in a lot of directions. Double dip at guard. Double dip at guard. We gave up our 4th round pick, huh? Hold on a second. Damn, double dip at guard. Damn, that makes a lot of sense. If you draft both guards, that means as high as these two, that means they got to be starting. And I don't know if they're going to do that. Start 2 rookies at guard next to JMS. As bad as the guard situation is right now, I don't know if they do. I don't think they double dip. That would be crazy, though, to think about. No wide out. Said no wide out. You would double dip, Prentice. KC Concepcion is gone, brother. We in the 3rd round. They talking about that kid going in the 1st. Dominic Orange, Big Citrus. I might have to do a full on mock draft next. So let's go through the prospects. You got Mike Washington here. Dominic Orange is here. Elijah Surratt. Keelan Rutledge. Branch is here still too. Fantastic. Romello Height. I would love to add Romello Height to this defense. But it's, drafting somebody this high, fighting for snaps doesn't make sense. Darrell Jackson is here. A backup for JMS. Connor Lewis here. A possible future replacement is here. Anthony Hill is here too. It'd be a little bit high, but he's here too. What we thinking? Rutledge, no brainer. Take Williams, linebacker. What about a trade? I told you who's offering a trade right now. Right now, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, got 76. Will they give me 85? Nope. Will they give me 99? Nope. If I throw in 145, I might be able to do this deal, drop back 6 spots and pick up 99. See, now we get into the land of make-believe when it comes to mock drafts, and this is a tricky place. We get a little bit greedy. Hand get caught in the cookie jar. So we're going to do another one after this. So a lot of people saying a double dip. It might be too high for Ted Hurst, J3. Might be too high for Ted Hurst. Phil says Washington would take us back to Jacobs, Ward, and Bradshaw days. You're not lying. It's still high, man. It's still high to take a running back in the 3rd, man. KC said double dip, baby. We might have to double dip, man. Listen, this is a mock draft, man. We're going to start over anyway. Because a lot of people ain't happy with taking downs in the 1st round anyway. We're going to double dip. Actually, I'm going to try to trade, and then I'm going to see if I can still land Rutledge. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to trade again, and then see if we can see if Rutledge is still there at 76, and if he doesn't, and if he's not, we still got 2 more picks. So let me know. Try this trade right now. Give Pittsburgh 70 and 145 for 76 and 99. What we doing? Washington is available. I understand. Trade a double. That's what it is. Kenya, you got it right there. Trade. I want just put trade a double dip. That's all I want to see. Trade a double dip. That's the words. We're gonna go off what Kenya said. Trade or double dip. I need to get at least 5 or 10 votes in here before we make the move. Just draft the best D-line, offensive line vaporizer. I hear you. We got one for double dip, 2 for double dip, 3 for trade, and 2 for double dip. Double dip is wild. I can't pause. I don't have to pause double dip. I ain't got to pause that. That's close. It's borderline, but I ain't got to pause that. Trade. Okay, we're going to try this trade. I see the trades have it. Let's offer the trade. They did it. Okay. Fingers crossed. I'm going to hit this button And I'm going to hope that Keelan Rutledge is still there. Then we're going to double dip and get the trade. Let's see. Whew. What they say, scared money don't make money. Mock drafts are absolute BS. Absolute BS mock drafts are, man. Keelan Rutledge is still there. I'm double dipping 100%. And we still got pick 99. And if Ted Hurst is there at 99, I'm taking Ted Hurst. I understand I missed out on a defensive tackle, but I'm hoping that DJ Reader gets signed within the next 2 days. And then I'll feel a little bit better. Right, KC? That's what I'm saying, right? You know what? I'll look at Greg, where Greg go? I'm gonna look at the DTs really quickly. I'm telling you right now, I'm not taking the DT, but we can look at the DTs. Rashawn Benny, Dante Corleone, Caleb Proctor's there. These are all guys that'll be there in the 4th round. Looks like Rashawn Benny might go a little bit earlier. Out of Michigan, coming from that Wink system. Not trading back again. I'm taking these picks. I'm gonna take this blessing that the Lord just gave me. I'm going to take Keelan Rutledge, and I'm going to see what's going to happen at 99. So we double dipping. And it makes sense, too, because Pregnon is a left guard. Rutledge is a right guard. And guess what? Jackson Dart will have an offensive line going from left to right. Andrew Thomas, Emmanuel Pregnon, JMS, Keelan Rutledge, and Jermaine Illuminor. Yeah, that sound too good to be true. Most likely too good to be true. That's why we call it a mock draft. So we're going to Keelan Rutledge, and I'm going to see if Ted Hurst is available or maybe possibly defensive tackle. Did we get lucky again? Yeah, this is BS. This mock draft is BS, man. That is hilarious. Yeah, that's a fact. Filet ain't it at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. You already see it. I see it. And I'm with you 100%. Is the tackle from Texas still there? Which tackle are you talking about? From Texas Tech? Or are you talking about which tackle are you talking about from Texas? Cole Brevard is go later than that. Oh, you talking about let's see, hold on. Nah, he's not there. You got the kid from you got Skylar Gilhowe from Texas Tech, but that's Texas A&M. Let's see where you went. It's Anthony Hill. I'm playing around. Maybe we're gonna do another mock draft anyway. Ted Hurst is here, man. Ted Hurst is here. Pick 99. What we doing? I like Cole Brevard, man. A lot. Linebacker's best friend. And guess what? We didn't take a linebacker. So let's look at wide receivers and linebackers. I'm gonna narrow this down because we didn't take a linebacker. We chose Downs over Sonny Styles. Quick recap. Downs, Emmanuel Pregnon, Keelan Rutledge double dipped, made the investment of protecting Jackson Dart. And now we sitting here with Ted Hurst, the number one option right now. Ted Hurst is BPA out of wide receivers and linebackers. I think we're leaning towards Ted Hurst, man. I think that's what we're gonna do. Take Dante Corleone. That's who you want. Take the Godfather. I wasn't that high on Corleone, man. Last year he could have came out. Was he? I don't like his height. Only 6'1", but he built like a brick house though. What's going on, dealer? He said Lawson, Deontay Lawson. I don't know, man. Big Blue said, talking about Deontay Corleone. He's like he's like 330 pounds, but he's only like 6'1". I don't know what his arm length is though either. And he's all right, man. He's all right. Anthony Cherry says Big Dash Betcha Hill ain't there. Wait a minute. Hill's not there. I definitely would have took Hill. Betcher's here though. Betcher's here at 135. You know what? Next mock draft, we're doing 5 rounds. Forget it. We're gonna do 5 rounds. We're gonna do 5 rounds for the next one. I'm taking Hurst. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Hurst. I apologize for being not sorry. I'm taking Hurst here. And then we're gonna get into the next one. Oh, it's taking forever. They go that bandwidth doing this thing. Top 33%. Did it give me NC? Even the simulator said I should have took Styles over Downs. You see it. Gave me a B- for Caleb Downs, which I think is BS anyway. I would have got straight A's though if we would have took Sonny Styles. I got 2 guards, wide receiver. Listen, if we could pull this off any kind of way, somehow, some way, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. I would be upset about not having a linebacker. I would probably send Michael McFadden over to see the witch doctors, make sure he's good to go if we don't take a linebacker. But it is what it is. We're going to do another one. I'm going to get this loaded up, but we're going to chat for a little bit before I jump right into this one. I'm going to do 5 rounds this time. Into that and do it that way. Said we lit, right? Yeah, we lit. We lit if that happens. For real. We talk about it. J3, Red Murdoch. Tackling machine out of Buffalo. That's my guy, too. He's the sleeper of all sleepers for me. Sleeper of all sleepers, and I'm upset with myself. I didn't get a chance to ask Emory Hunt about him last week when I had him on the show. Dealer said, what about these reports coming out that Joe Schoen likes Mekhi Lemon? He can like Mekhi Lemon all he wants. He can like Mekhi Lemon all he wants. I like Mekhi Lemon too, man. That's a hell of a decision to make. But you know what? That if he likes Mekhi Lemon like that, and then we get into the draft, well, there's no way that we take Mekhi Lemon at 5. So that means we definitely trade him back and we get the package, pause, and we can do it that way. But Casey said triple dip, but nah, man, I'm not taking Mekhi Lemon high. And that also means that Joe Schoen has a little bit more say than we assume he does now. Because again, I thought he was pretty much, neutered and was the errand boy. He was a runner. But if we end up taking Mekhi Lemon, that means he's more than just a runner, for sure. C. Barkley said, what would it take for Joe Schoen to be forgiven for the Saquon debacle? I'm thinking of Super. Listen, no, because it wouldn't be because of Joe Schoen if we won a Super Bowl. It wouldn't be that. And I don't know if I'm ever going for. Well, it ain't even just about Saquon Barkley. It's all of the other stuff that's happening too with Joe Schoen. A lot of these picks failed, man. It could be coaching. Who knows? But he played a part in it, man. He played a part in it. No pause in football. Maybe I'm just not mature enough yet. Maybe I'm just not. I don't know, man. Been saying it all my life. Like, been saying it all my life, man. I don't know. And I try to skip it on purpose sometimes, and it just don't feel right for me. So I just have not matured enough yet. Dealer says, I think Lemon's skill set translates well to the NFL. He's been my favorite wide receiver. Yeah, of course that pick could only be made in a trade back. No, absolutely. I did a video like a month ago. He was number 1 on my list too. Most explosive wide receiver in the draft, I believe it. If he had a little bit more, not even experience, but if he played a little bit more on the outside, which I think he can go out there in a pinch. But he would probably be even higher. But he's already high enough on a slot receiver, possibly going in the top 10. Mekhi Lemon, definitely going in the top 15. I don't think he makes it past Miami. Miami would be wilding if he made it past them, because they got nobody really at wide receiver. So I'm over here knocking things over. KC said they didn't value Saquon Barkley. He says what makes me believe that they won't invest that high in that position. I don't know. You let people tell it, man. Jeremiah Love is an option for real. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Now, if we didn't have Scatterboo, then I'll be all over the Love train, man. Absolutely. We got Scatterboo, we got Tracy, we got Singletary, and we got a whole bunch of holes, man. That's what does it for me. Corky, what's going on, Corky? He says, sorry, but Shane has let too much talent out the door and has not been able to replace it. That's a fact, man. You figure Evan Neal got 3 chances, right? 3 chances. And he's still sitting here with a non guaranteed contract. Joshua Zudu just straight. the 2022 draft, he drafted 3 offensive linemen, and none of them panned out. One of them ain't even playing football anymore. I don't know. Big Blue Reborn said, my main thing is we need to protect number 6. That's our future. That's a fact. That's a fact for sure. All right, we're going to get into this next mock draft, man. Make sure I got all the super chats. I'm caught up on the super chats. I am. Again, appreciate the over 100 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. I don't know what the count is, but make sure you hit that like button. It does more than you guys even know. Very, very helpful. We're going to start this mock draft. Dad's Life, what's going on? I don't know if you was watching the Dad's Life, but I double dipped at guard. We traded back. We ended up with, we took Downs. We got Pregnon. We got Keelan Rutledge, and we got Ted Hurst. So the situation was good. So here we go again. Now we got a chance to draft Styles. Do we right or wrong if we think of it like that? But he says, see how many day 2 picks you can get this time. I'm trading back all day. I want 22 day 2 picks. Man, let's see. Prentice says, I'm more mad about McKinney. Yeah, talk about it. That's the one that made me mad too. McKinney was asking for a lot of money, but to turn around and give that money to Holland after a year, like, come on. You could have just kept McKinney. You could have just kept McKinney, man. You could have just kept McKinney. Not to mention the whole Daniel Jones thing too, because when they got here, they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. Obviously, the New York Giants had a playoff run, but the stats was the stats when it came to Daniel Jones. He held the held the franchise tag hostage, really. It was about who signed first between him and Saquon. That's enough. Well, no, I don't even want to get into it. That's crying over spilled milk, and I don't like to do that too much. I don't like to cry over spilled milk, but Barkley could have signed one of them contracts, bro. We could have franchise tagged Daniel Jones, and then 2023 would have happened, and we would have been free and clear. Barkley would have been signed, and we would have been still hopefully possibly would have ended up with a quarterback. But I ain't gonna do all that. I ain't gonna cry over that spilled milk, even though I just boo-hooed over spilled milk. Okay, so now we picking at 5. We got 8 people calling. Got 8 people calling. Dallas is calling with 12 and 20. 12 and 20. 12 and 20. You know, like a couple months ago, I wouldn't entertain trading back with a division rival. And then I'm reminded that Philadelphia and Dallas did business a few years ago. And don't let my bias cloud good judgment. And trading back out of 5, getting 12 and 20, even though I don't think they would do it, that's good business. We can't say Williams, though. Williams, he traded Williams. We didn't let Williams walk. It ended up turning into Brian Burns, but we've been trying to find a replacement for Williams ever since. Corky said, I'm in on the Dallas trade. KC legit says, take the Dallas trade. Sal, is it Saul? Let me know. Is it Saul? Saladin, is it Saladin? I think so. Saladin. It's fire name. What you say? Are we cooked? What you mean? What you mean, Jay Bands? Take Styles, don't take the trade back. Don't take 12 and 20. Don't take 12 and 20. Let me know, Jay Bands. Because when you just say, are we cooked? It can go in a lot of directions. Let me know exactly what you're thinking. Saladin, okay. All right. Deila says, well, I mean, Plax did go to jail because of his incident. Oh, you told who you responding to? Trade with the Saints for the 2nd. Hold on. Let me see who else was offering. Right now is the Dallas Cowboys at 12, Rams at 13, Chargers at 22. So I'm not entertaining the Chargers. I would only entertain the Cowboys and the Rams at 12 and 13. The Rams have 13 and 61. I'm not doing that. I'd rather do business with the rivals, even though they're probably gonna jump up and take Sonny Styles. If I'm being honest, they're either gonna jump up and take Styles or Sonny or Downs. But I'm gonna see if they take this deal. I think so. So in the chat, man, in the chat, either say stay or trade in the chat. You want to see if we can do this trade with Dallas, or you want to stay and pick Styles possibly? No trade edition. We can do a no trade for the next one. We'll do a no trade for the next one. Oh, also, if the votes get it here, we won't be trading now anyway. All right. Patch said, with this regime, we hopefully won't be picking this high again. I want picks too, but we need the best players. True. Styles, stay. Styles. Okay. Now the trades are coming in. Joey Wills, what's going on? Big Mike said, why was Abdul why was it swept? You know what's crazy? We don't know if he was actually, we know that something was played. So something was on the laptop or on the phone and people heard it. But we don't know if activities was happening on top of that. So maybe he was watching it. He turned his phone off, put it in his, and then when first thing he turned on his phone and boom. Maybe that's what happened. I doubt that man was in there handling his business in a group full of men like that. I hope not. I'm thinking maybe he was doing something prior, opened up his phone and forgot what he was doing prior, and that's what happened. I'm hoping that's what happened. I'm praying. I'm hoping nothing like that happened at all. But we've heard the stories. No helping the rivals. We will be helping ourselves too. Nah, Stephen Arch, that's crazy. But who knows? Who knows, man? Because he be on Twitter too like that. It's crazy. Dealer says, I wouldn't trade with Dallas. Dallas would probably take Love in that spot, regardless if they re-sign Javonte Williams or not. I'm not concerned if they take Love, though, man. I know you're high on Love. I would just try to bolster my defense if they were to trade up and take Love. Actually, I don't think Love is on the board. Love is gone, so we ain't even got to worry about him in this scenario. They most likely take Downs or Styles. And that's if they even take the trade. They might not even take the trade. Let me get this tally. He said X algorithm is a scary sight. It depends on what you've been looking at. I got a safe. I got a safe timeline. I don't know about y'all. I got my timeline is safe. Cut it out. I got to cut it out. Coach Ed said trade, but add a third for from that team. What? They're not going to do that. They barely going to take this deal, Coach. If I ask for their third next year or this year, that's not happening. We ain't got to worry about dealer. Love ain't on the board right now. The Titans took him, so we ain't even got to worry about this in the land of make believe. Again, we in the land of make believe right now, the land of mock drafts. We're gonna see if they accept. We're gonna see if they take the trade because it was more trades than stays here. I swear, before I get off this live tonight, I am doing a mock draft, and I'm taking Sonny Styles. I'm letting you guys know that right now. Y'all talked me out of this, out of the first one. If Dallas accepts this trade, then Styles ain't getting picked here. But if Dallas doesn't accept this trade, I'm taking Styles. Let's see what happens. They didn't accept it. All right, so now we sticking and picking. We're going to stick and pick. So we got Sonny Styles, David Bailey, Francis Mano, Caleb Downs. Last time we took Downs. This time I'm taking Sonny Styles, making an executive decision. We're going to take Styles. Executive decision. October said trade with Dallas, question marks. Yeah, for 12 and 20. Yes, I would do it for 12 and 20. It's bad. And like, again, a month ago, I wouldn't want to do business with a rival. I wouldn't, but I'm taking Styles. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do another mock draft after this, but I'm taking Styles right now. So there it is. It's already done. It's already done. All right, it gets interesting now. Okay, KC Concepcion made it to the second round. Made it to the Giants. Again, he's a slot receiver though. Probably the second most explosive wide receiver next to Mekhi Lemon in his draft. Also helps you in special teams. I took Styles. I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing. Next mock draft, I got this Styles one out of the way. It's out of the way now. Next mock draft, we can do something crazy. Pause. It's 8-8. What happened? What happened? What the Yanks doing? What the Yanks doing? No, I did that. What? Factually, it's atrocious. Yeah. Somebody tell me what happened. Luann says, I want Jordan Tyson 6'2". Is he 6'2" with the hamstring or without the hamstring? Let me know. Let me know. Shout out to Gabe says, y'all got one more week to glaze Styles. Well, I feel like we fighting for Styles. There's a lot of people not that don't want Styles, man. So I don't know. Purple Hef says taking all bets Downs is better than Styles. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Downs is nice. Football IQ through the roof. And he might be better right out the gate than a lot of people. Not just Styles, than a lot of people. Like day one. Trade back at 37. Let's see who's calling. Oof, y'all not gonna like that. We got the Falcons calling with 48 and 79. You could probably get that deal done too. 48 and 79 for 37. Do you want to go back 11 spots just to pick up an additional third or a third? Who else is here? So you got the Falcons at 48, Minnesota Vikings at 49. Rams at 61 is too far back for me. So Falcons at 48, Vikings at 49. Let's see what else the Vikings have. Vikings got 49 and 82. What did we just say that the Falcons had 48 and 79? So the Falcons deal will be better. 48 and 79. Do you guys want to trade back? We were able to get Keelan Rutledge when we traded back last time. Do you want to trade back 11 spots and then pick up the third? Let me know. We trading or we staying? Take Prignon in the second round. We took Prignon in the last draft too. Bullpen sucks. Yeah, man. Trade back. Try the Jets. Jets ain't even calling. Yeah, the Jets ain't even calling. Hit up the Saints, you never know. I'm telling you right now, the only teams calling, you got the Falcons, Vikings, the Rams, the Commanders, right? Falcons got 48, Vikings got 49, Rams got 61, Commanders got 71. I'm not falling all the way back to 61 and 71. If that's the case, I would take the Falcons deal and then possibly trade back again once I get to that pick. But you know, I like the deal with the Falcons if I'm not taking somebody right now though. Lee Hunter is gone. Let's see who's there again. You got Emmanuel Pregnon here still. Concepcion is here. Outside of that, you got Jacob Rodriguez, but we took Styles already. Chris Johnson. You see what the needs are. We do need a wide receiver. All we got is Sonny Styles right here. Let me know what you got. Trade or stay? What we doing? Trade or stay? Trade back. We need the third. Trade back with the Vikings. You caught that, D Brown? Yeah, with the hamstring or without? Yeah, 6'2". Not trading back. I'm saying we already picked up Styles. You must be delayed, Luann. Are you delayed? I know you're watching the Yankees game. You might be a little bit delayed. Dad's Life says, as much as I want a wide receiver too, I agree with you. What you said last week about the O-line, got to think beyond this year. That's a fact. I think we can still get Keelan Rutledge if we take this deal. Once again, Preggers. We took Preggers the last time, man. Greg said, Preg. We got Greg for Preg. Dealer says the pass rush had eluded Harbaugh in his last years with the Ravens. Do you think there's a chance we trade back and take Bain? I like Bain a lot, man. I'm just not sure if he holds up in an odd man front like that, unless you go with a hybrid odd man front and you line them outside of the tackle, possibly head up or outside instead of shading them inside. It might work, but it'll be hybrid, and then somebody else got to hold up that slack. So it's difficult, man. It's difficult unless you go full on hybrid. And let me see if that makes sense. Can you go full on hybrid? You draft Bain. You got Dex and Darius Alexander at tackle. Kayvon, Bain at DN. Outside linebackers would be Carter and Burns with Edmonds at middle linebacker. So that's your 4-3-4. But then your entire defensive scheme would be a hybrid package. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. So it is possible. It is possible. And that would be one way to get everybody on the field at once. But then you're turning Abdul Carter to like a Sam linebacker instead of an outside linebacker. You're doing the same thing with Brian Burns. Yeah, it don't make sense. Yeah, it don't make sense. That's a lot of moving around to add one player. That's a lot of moving around position wise, moving a lot of people out of position just to fit one guy. But I like Bain a lot. If somebody told me he can play the 3 technique flat out or the 5 flat out, which he could, but yeah. Just don't make Baines a designated driver. Y'all got jokes. It was reckless driving, right? That he got hit with, but it was like from 2024 though. I think it was old. Okay, Luann. All right. I thought you was delayed because when you said trade at 5, we at pick 37 right now. DT Darryl Jackson in the 3rd. That is something else. So okay, in the comment section, we gonna trade or we gonna stay? What we doing? Trade or stay? Trade or stay? We're going to try to see if they would accept. Let's get it lined up again. Atlanta Falcons for 48.79 for 37. Right now, there's a 46% chance that they take this deal. I got a second option if they turn it down. So let's see what happens. So trade or stay. Trade. We got two for trades. I'm going off what the chat says. So if we got a majority of people that say trade, but we're going to trade. If they say stay, we got 4 trades, 5 trades, 6 trades. I mean, come on, Joey. You try to pull a fast one on me. You almost caught me, too. It's late. I need somebody other than Joey to stop spamming trade so we can actually do this. Give you Iguodala. What you talking about, Iguodala? All right, here we go. Got some real votes now. Trade the pick with Hyatt. I saw you, Hooks. Trade all day. Trade. I got 10 trades and 2 no trades. Side guy Bryce said cheater. Who's cheating? He's not worried about the easy pass. All right, we're going to go trade. We're going to see if they accept this trade. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's see. Let's try it. Wow, they took it. So New York Giants trade the 37th pick to the Atlanta Falcons. We get back 48.79. Let's go ahead and resume this draft. All right, so Jacob Rodriguez is there, but again, we already took care of linebacker. Chris Johnson is here. I like Chris Johnson a lot. Jennings Dunker is here. We still got pick 79 too. So now we're getting interesting. This is uncharted territory. So I'm curious to see how you guys want to take this one. Now Joey Wills said, "Oh, Joey Wills was cheating." Yeah, Joey Wills was cheating. I'm the dummy looking at it too, and not even paying attention to the profile pick. So he got me for a second. Take the guard. Oh, Basantis. Y'all want the Jersey native Chase Basantis? Keontae Scott is nice too. I didn't know Keontae Scott was as old as he was. CB Johnson. We got 2 for Johnson. Pause. Oh no, that was 1 for Johnson. I just saw it twice. Luann says, "I'm not trading. I'm staying put." I don't blame you. CB for me, my G. What's going on, Righteous? It's a double dip at linebacker. Yeah. Basantis. All right, we're gonna throw some names out there because it'll take forever. Not gonna put Rodriguez on the list because we already took Sonny Styles. Wouldn't make sense then. Because if you take somebody in the second round, you want them to start. And right now, Tremaine Edmonds and Sonny Styles will be starting in this scenario. So we got the cornerback Chris Johnson, who is a nice prospect. We got the guard Chase Basantis, but I'm not as high on Chase Basantis as some other people. I understand he went to Don Bosco. That doesn't give me any kudos because I do not like Don Bosco. That's just an old high school, not even a rivalry. You know, they just had some very, very good teams. And they had players from all over the state that end up going out there, but you know how the Catholic schools do. We got to protect Jackson Dart. I know, that's why brother, look at this. If I go tackle, because some of these guys are going to be guards, and I go interior line. Chase Basantis is the guard, no doubt. Jennings Dunker projected to be a guard. I think Caleb Tiernan is actually projected to be like a center, if I'm not mistaken. Then you got Keelan Rutledge at 74. We got pick 79. So that's a possibility too. Jalen Farmer's here too. But Emmy Hunt was talking about Jalen Farmer last week. So there's some options outside of Chase Basantis here. And again, we got Jennings Dunker. So there's some options here, not just at 48. It just depends on, you know, where need meets value, and what the New York Giants need is a guard for sure. Took care of linebacker. Cornerback is a priority, but not as much of a priority as guard. Keith Abney is nice too, aggressive, feisty cornerback. Yeah. Chris Brazil is still there at for a wide receiver option. Skylar Bell is there as a wide receiver option. Jake Golday is there, but again, we took care of the linebacker spot. Bryce Lance is here too. So I got Brad Wallen. Said Chris Johnson, cornerback. So I got Brad says grab a hold of what? Pause. Take Chris Johnson. All right, we're gonna take Chris Johnson. Our producer's good lineman. Yeah, we got some other picks too. We're doing a 5-round mock draft here. So I'm gonna take Chris Johnson here. So we went defense back to back. Now we're at pick 79. And guess what? Rutledge is going, where did he go? He probably went the pick right before too, didn't he? Keelan Rutledge went 2 picks before we got a chance to get him. Darryl Jackson is on the board though. I like Darryl Jackson. Big Citrus is on the board still too. So we got some defensive tackle options here too. It's a sweet spot in the 4th round for offensive tackles too. Offensive linemen. So Anthony Hill, again, look at linebackers are always available when you already took one. Because the last mock draft wasn't none of these linebackers really available. All right, where we at? What's the trade? We got what we got? We traded 37 for pick 48 and pick 79. That's what I was hoping Rutledge was going to make it, Anthony, but he didn't. I'm thinking about going defensive tackle though here. Jackson or Connor Lew. To be honest, Joe, if you take Connor Lew in the 3rd round, I think it's an open competition at center, possibly. Not really, but it should be. Because if you draft Connor Lew in the 3rd round, that means you're most likely going to let JMS walk in 2027, and Connor Lew is going to be your center of the future. I like Darryl Jackson a lot at this spot right here. I see some other people saying defensive tackle too. Tyon saying Darryl Jackson too. KC Legit says a no Ohio State mock draft edition. I don't know if that's possible, bro. All right, so do you want to go Darryl Jackson or let's see who else is here. Darryl Jackson might be the only one that makes sense at this spot, to be honest, with what I'm looking at. I like Dominic Orange, but I'm not as high on Dominic Orange. Said, is it really a bad thing? No. Jacoby Lane is still available. Yes. Jacoby Lane is available. Jackson is a beast. I'm thinking I'm going Jackson here. I'm going to go Jackson. because we'll be here all day. And then we already on our third mock draft of the night. All right, so now we at pick 105. Quick recap. We went Sonny Styles, Chris Johnson, Darrell Jackson. So we went defense 3 times in a row. Back to back to back. We damn sure need some offensive line help. And it might be the next 2 picks might be offensive line. So let's see what's available now. At offensive line. We got a linebacker. We got a cornerback. We got a defensive tackle. I'm going to do interior offensive line. I'm going to do wide receiver as well, because we didn't take a wide receiver. Let's see who's calling. New England is calling with pick 125. Fall back 20 spots, but get 120. Nah, I ain't doing that. There's some good prospects here. All right. I agree, dealer. It should be a deal. If we would have did what we were supposed to do with the offensive line, this whole draft could have been defensive, in all honesty. And maybe you sneak a wide receiver in on day 3, possibly, if somebody falls to the 4th round. But I agree with you. This draft should be heavy defense. Heavy defense. But offensive line needs help. Defensive line needs help too. Who are the guards? Let me go back to the interior offensive line. Billy Schrafe. I like Bo Stevens from Iowa. Can't go wrong with an Iowa lineman. You know how it is. But Billy Schrafe from Notre Dame is good too. Ahmad Reed Adams later on. Probably won't make it to this mock draft. But there's some other options. DJ Campbell's here too. I think Bobby Skinner had DJ Campbell in one of his mock drafts. He's a big guard though. DJ Campbell's a big guard. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Billy Schrafe. That's where I was leaning. Guard from Notre Dame. A good look. Brennan Thompson can fly. Yeah, he can fly. He can fly. 5'8". 5'8". He can fly though. Calvin Austin can fly. Darnell Mooney can fly too. Both of those guys 4.3 40s. But yeah, Brennan Thompson is a 4.2 guy. We know it. Malik Muhammad is there, but we already took Chris Johnson as a cornerback. We already took Chris Johnson. I'm thinking Billy Schrafe too. Any good kickers? We all right right now, I think. I think we all right. We got a nice kicking competition. I'm still leaning. I'm still leaning Ben Sauls doing the kicker competition. Give me the left. Give me the lefty. The left-footed kicker. Give me that. Pause. I'm taking Billy Schrafe here. I'm gonna take Billy Schrafe, and we're gonna go to pick 145. I'm gonna see what wide receiver could possibly be there. Don't look like Cyrus Allen, Caleb Douglas, Kevin Cole. I like Kevin Coleman a lot too, but he's another slot, smaller build wide receiver. Josh Cameron's here. Won't be able to go wide receiver here. Might have to double dip at offensive line. Let's see what happens. Torian York is here too. He's a sneaky prospect. I like Nicholas Singleton. I think he should have came out last year. Probably would have got drafted higher last year than this year. J.C. Davis is another person, left tackle out of Illinois, basketball background, good feet. But he would be like a swing tackle. He's not a guard at all. His feet are too good. I say that, but you can kick him inside anyway. Austin Barber is solid here. Let me know what y'all thinking, man. York, we already got Sonny Styles. You want to take another linebacker? Because in the 5th round, you could take another linebacker, but right now you figure with this draft, you got Edmonds, you got Styles, you got Micah McFadden. You want to go Torian York too? Who's BPA? Looks like a tight end is BPA right now. We know we're not doing that. This wouldn't be a bad spot to take another running back, because I think Singleton could be like a home run hitter for sure. Casey Legit says center. Rather double dip at CB. Who's the other cornerback though? Who's the other cornerback? You got Julian Neal here. Oh, you got Ephesians is here. A 6'3", 200-pound cornerback. Had a decent 44.5 40 at the combine. Not bad. Everybody is chasing. What's the guy that what's the guy's name that didn't Philly? Did Philly just get him? The cornerback from Seattle, the tall one. Name's escaping me. That's crazy. His name is escaping me right now. Yall, what's the cornerback's name, man? From Seattle, the tall one. Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen. Guess I had to just say it out loud to myself. Thank you, Joey Wills. Tariq Woolen. Everybody chasing after a Woolen type of cornerback, man. Ephesians, Presock, Sicario Davis. Those are guys 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. We punt what was it? We punt the position. That should say Presock. Neal. Let's go to BPA. Would that be crazy to take a running back in the 5th? Singleton? I think with Nick Singleton is crazy too, man. But again, when he first got to Penn State, he was fire, man. He even wore the number 26. He was out there making plays. He was running away from people. 6'1". Was he about 210 pounds, 215 pounds? Good speed. And then he just like fell off a cliff a little bit. But he also was sharing the backfield too. That's a great question. Which Penn State running back is better? Which got a little bit bigger build than him? Is he gone already? No, he's still there. Allen's still there. He got a little bit bigger build than Nick Singleton, but they almost like twins out there, man. Saladin said he want a linebacker. Are we really taking? Because you figure if you take Torian York here, you're taking possibly a 4th string linebacker. Singleton would be a 3rd. I think if we draft Singleton takes over Singletary's spot. I think, in my opinion. No weapons for Dart. Tis. Mark, man, you missed the first draft. We got Ted Hurst in the first draft. No, we got Ted Hurst in the second draft, actually. I forgot who we got in the first draft, Mark. You just a little late to the party, brother. Just a little late to the party. Shout out to Terry White. Terry White, new member. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Big Blue Nation, man. Welcome home. We got a new member of the family, people. Show Terry some love in the building, please. Singletary and Neal. Mr. February, that's a fact. The problem is McFadden always gets hurt. Yeah. Caldwell, huh? I got mixed feelings on Caldwell, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. Fast as hell, though. Ran that 4.3 40, came out of nowhere with the 4.3 40. 6'5", 220? You know what's crazy? In the 5th round, you take a chance like that in the 5th round on some upside. So I'm not mad at that. Terry White, Surratt is gone, brother. Surratt is absolutely gone. Simeon, what's going on, Simeon? You know what? Stacy, you might be on to something, man. You might be on to something. Hold on, where'd he go? He wasn't he there? Caldwell was there, right? They got him all the way down at 181. That means we probably could get him with the 6th round pick. So we're gonna table that for a second, man. We're gonna table that. Did you watch the breakdown Steve Smith had on Caldwell? The man is fast. You know, he flashes, but he can't run routes consistently. Sound like somebody, right? But big body though. 6'5", 220 pounds, for 240. It might be worth it. It might be worth it. He got some wild plays. He got some plays where you scratch your head. That's Steve Smith's words, not mine. When I watched a lot of Cincinnati games, I was watching Jake Golday, not the offense with the cut-ups. So I didn't see a lot of the offensive side of the ball for Cincinnati. So you probably know better than me, Stace. Caldwell is a reach. Yeah, a little bit. Shout out to Gabe, said, imagine no offense for Dart. They did it in the offseason, man. They did it in the offseason. Outside of getting them a right guard, man. Outside of getting them a right guard. They gave him Calvin Austin, Darnell Mooney, Isaiah Likely. That's the other thing, man. Isaiah Likely is a de facto wide receiver anyway. He's a slot receiver. That's how they're going to play. He's not going to be in line blocking anybody. Isaiah Likely is going to be a bona fide wide receiver in this offense. Slot receiver. We're going to be running a lot of 12 personnel. You're going to see Theo Johnson and Isaiah Likely on the field often together. And I gotta keep on remembering that yeah, we need another wide receiver, another big body wide receiver. Meanwhile, Isaiah Likely is that big body receiver de facto. I always forget that too. So with that being said, I might go Nicholas Singleton here and find that replacement for Singletary. Maybe. Mark Andrews 2.0, huh? Hopefully better than that, man. Hopefully more production. More targets downfield. You figure all those routes that Wandell was running last year is going to be Isaiah Likely this time. Shallow crosses, all that stuff, moving the sticks. You know, get some play after the catch, some yak possibly. Let him create a little bit. I'm thinking about going Singleton, man. I'm thinking about going Singleton. I'm going to edge Singleton a little bit, pause, over Allen, because I've seen Singleton take it to the house in previous seasons. And I think his lack of production was because he was splitting with Allen. And then, you know, Penn State just wasn't as good as they were before. Dealer says Mark Andrews was a monster now in his prime. That was 1,000 yards. Yeah, he was fantastic, and he can block. Well, he can block better than what Likely can. But I like Mark Andrews a lot, man. I'm hoping Theo Johnson can turn into like a Mark Andrews. We'll see what happens. I was hoping Daniel Bellinger could turn into our Mark Andrews, but Dable didn't want to use him. And by the time we actually started to use him, it was a contract year. Besides, we can mock Saquon. Yeah, he was. He was a beast. I think I'm gonna go Nick Singleton here. We're gonna get this mock draft out of the way, and then we can talk a little bit, because we done did 3 mock drafts tonight. Maybe y'all can talk me into another one. Maybe not. Where am I? I'm at an hour and a half on the impromptu late night Giants talk, but we vibing, man. All right, let's see how we did. All right, we got a B this time. Top 42%, B+. We only got one A out of the bunch. So Sonny Styles got us an A. Chris Johnson got us a B. Darryl Jackson, B-. Billy Schrafe, B-. Nicholas Singleton got us a C+ for overall grade of a B+. PFF says we should have took Ramsey instead of Darryl Jackson, you know, in that 3rd round. So there you go. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Mark Sullivan with the $1.99 super chat says that's why they call it dope. Forgot Dash. That's why they call it dope. Okay. We got a couple of them, man. We might do another one, go wide receiver. I don't know. Maybe not. C-Rock says, just don't get Dable, not you. Oh, yeah. I don't get it either. I didn't get it. not utilizing Bellinger. We need more playmakers, so let's draft Love. See, I was with you halfway through the comment. Like, you had the first sentence, you had me. That is like, we need more playmakers. We need blocking too. But we need a little bit of everything, to be honest. But what happened with Bellinger, let's take a trip down memory lane, right? Shout out to Jay-Z. What happened with Bellinger was he had a good rookie year. He missed a bunch of games because he got his eye socket broken eye socket because of the linebacker from Jacksonville. But even after he came back, he contributed both games against the Minnesota Vikings, the end of the regular season and also in the playoff game. And then after that, we went with we thought things were sweet. We went and got Darren Waller, and we turned Daniel Bellinger into a bona fide fullback, and it failed. The year after that, we drafted over Daniel Bellinger again. We got Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson became the starter right away, even though I felt like Daniel Bellinger was better. And we put him on the back burner. And then last year, Dart was here, and Daniel Bellinger was doing what Daniel Bellinger should have been doing from the beginning, contributing. All he did was catch the ball when you throw it to him. He had a couple of drops, but still, most consistent tight end we had, in my opinion. But, it is what it is. Shout out to Daniel Bellinger. Shout out to his pops too, man. I would never say anything bad about Daniel Bellinger. Luann said Waller was a joke. Yeah, then he retired, and then he unretired, went to Miami. Yeah, soft. Well, that's what Kobe said. Kobe was soft. Dude was soft. Anthony Cherry says 2 tight ends got hurt contributing during a rookie year. 2 tight ends. Who else got hurt Bellinger's rookie year? Who's the other? We had a whole bunch of, we had like Nick Vannett. Who do we have? We had Nick Vannett was another tight end we had that year. We had a bunch of, respectfully, no names on the squad that year, tight end. We still made it to the playoffs. That's what I said. Johnson last year. Yeah, they drafted over him again. Will's got a point. He says Bellinger was a classic case of wanting weapons over players. Shiny toys, right? The shiny new toy, right? Over what's really needed. Yeah. KC legit, that's 100%. Dealer says Waller was putting up numbers for us, though, when he played. What was that game? The Buffalo game. Buffalo game put up numbers. The Miami game, he did well in the Miami game. I'm trying to think. Miami, the Buffalo game. He did play pretty well. He did play pretty well. But it still wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And that could be a whole Daniel Jones thing. It could be the coaching thing, too. But we saw Waller was open often. So it could just been Daniel Jones at the end of the day, too. Stacy says it will be interesting to see Harbaugh maneuver through this draft with only 2 picks in the top 50. 2 picks in the top 100. 2 picks in the top 100. Last year we had, 4 picks in the top 100? 5? We had 5 picks in the top 100? 5 picks in Abdul, Dart, Alexander. Yeah, Alexander, Bo, and Alexander, Scatterboo, and Bo. Bo was like 10 something, 105, I think. Bo might have been 105 last year, right? Dealer says, yeah, Lemon will get his nose dirty when it comes to blocking for his size. He's all around. Yeah, I like players that are a little bit crazy too. Lemon look a little bit crazy. And before the presser, like people talked about his combine presser and how he was strange acting. No, he was wilding on the field before that. I like the way Lemon plays. He reminds me of old school wide receivers. He reminds me of a Steve Smith. And it's funny too, because I saw when Steve Smith did his video about Mekhi Lemon, and when the guy that does the show with him, I can't remember his name right now, when he asked him what his comp was, he leaned in and said, Mekhi Lemon, right? And he was like, nah, not Mekhi Lemon. Steve don't ever want to comp himself to anybody. And that's funny too, but I respect it. But when I see Mekhi Lemon play, I think of Steve Smith. I think of Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, I think of what's it? Dude from not Wells Walker, not Amendola. What's his name with the beard, man? For the Patriots. Well, it's not Walker, not Amendola. What's his name? I'm bad with names, man. I don't know if it's age or what. You know what I'm talking about. He be doing commercials and everything now. Hines Ward. Wow. Hines Ward would, Julian Edelman. Thank you very much. Dealer always on point. Shout out to my man Dealer in the. I wouldn't know what to do without you, Dealer. Just reliable like Edelman. Edelman was tough. He'll catch it over the middle, take the hit. Mekhi Lemon's just like that. I saw one play. It might have been like a deep cross. Safety was clearly there. He didn't even give a damn. He just went up and got the ball, took the hit, came down with it, knowing that safety was right there. I like that kind of toughness. Edelman was tough like that. Hines Ward was tough like that. Steve Smith was tough like that. I remember the game against us. They broke his arm and he still got the touchdown. Remember that? What year was that? They got it was 2015 possibly. We were playing the Carolina Panthers. Steve Smith, I forget who he beat. He caught the ball. He took the hit from the safety. They broke his arm, and he still got the touchdown. His arm was dangling after that. So just go on YouTube and Google Steve Smith broken arm. It's against the Giants. I forget who the safety was that hit him. Didn't matter. Just held on to the ball. It was a touchdown. Arm dangling. Steve Smith was a beast. That's a fact. Coach Ed said any busted that loses a phenomenal woman like Kelsey Plum is definitely toilet tissue. Boy, he was heartbroken too, wasn't he? I don't like to laugh at another man's pain, but he was heartbroken. He was doing music videos. He had an actor dress up like Kelly Plum, and he got stabbed in the back on the beach. Waves hitting him in the face. He was going through it. Waller was going through it, man. Maybe I don't feel as bad. Well, maybe I'm not as mad as him. He was going through it. He got divorced, got a brand new deal with the Giants, had to move away from his brand new wife. It got rocky. She divorced him. He doing music videos, getting stabbed in the back. That's a different type of depression. When you spending money doing songs and all that. The music sucked though. You couldn't even give him that, man. The music sucked. It did. It wasn't good. Better than Kadarius Toney though. We done hit that part of the live, but we just gonna talk a little bit of trash, man. Hopefully everybody stay tuned in for that. Kadarius Toney's music was trash. Is trash. Kadarius Toney was, and Dable tried to play the music at practice. Try to do a lot of things to accommodate to make that man happy. Kadarius Toney music was Kadarius Toney, if he would have took football seriously, sky would have been a limit for him. Sky would have been a limit for him. There's so many people out there that don't take the craft seriously, and Kadarius Toney was one of those guys. He treated football like a pickup game. And then when people talked about him not taking seriously, remember he put out the videos of him running routes in his backyard. Meanwhile, the backyard he was doing those routes in was like a 10 or 20 yard backyard. Like he wasn't really getting loose out there like that. He was fragile though. Mentally he was fragile. Very, very talented. Very talented. Did not take his craft seriously. And now he's a rapper. And I don't know his music. Will Will says all their music was trash on the same level as Brian Bosworth movies. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was a kid. I was young, but that one Brian Bosworth movie when he was what was he, like a vigilante? What was he when he was the leather jacket with the motorcycle? Maybe because I was young, maybe because I was young, I thought that movie was good. Just like when I was young, I thought Jean-Claude Van Damme movies was good. You ever go back and watch Bloodsport? Anybody that was a fan of Bloodsport back in the day? You ever go back as a grown adult and watch Bloodsport or any Jean-Claude Van Damme movie? Jean-Claude Van Damme was awful. Awful. Skylar Bell is a sleeper. I don't think he's a sleeper anymore. Bounty Hunter, that's what he was. A bounty of Steven Seagal. Good Lord. Dealer. I kid you not, man. I tell you guys, like I said, I'm from New Jersey. My whole father's side of the family is from Alabama. We got like deep South Alabama. I used to go to Alabama for the summers, and I kid you not, for a summer I was down there, all I did was watch Steven Seagal movies, like all of them. Big Steven Seagal fan. You go back and watch those movies now, Steven Seagal was trash. A lot of those late 80s, early 90s action heroes, they was trash. Actors. Trash. Steven Seagal was trash. I swore by that at Keto too, man. I thought you could just go around flipping grown ass men like that. You can't do that in real life. Everybody ain't Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, or Jet Li. You can't be a grown man thinking another man gonna just let you flip him like that. Steven Seagal, yeah. Jean-Claude. Hook said Jean-Claude was a bad man with that martial arts, but a bad actor. Yo, man, Universal Soldier. I actually like kickbox. No, I like Bloodsport more than kickboxing. Freaking Forrest Whitaker was in Bloodsport. Did y'all realize Forrest Whitaker was in Bloodsport? He was one of the detectives. And I didn't realize that when I was a kid watching that. I was like, a skinny Forrest Whitaker in Bloodsport. All I remember is Bo Jackson running over Boz in it. Yeah, it was Bo Jackson. Let's be honest. Bo Jackson was him for that cup of coffee he had in the NFL. They were good for their time. That's a fact, man. Listen, man, I come from that era, man, where martial arts movies, karate movies, that was it. A Dad's like, bullshit, oh, that's crazy. Marked for Death. That's when he beat up all the Jamaicans. What was his name? Was it Screwface or Two-Face? Screwface, right? Marked for Death. I know a lot of people like that movie. White man was beating up all them black folks. Yo, Marked for Death was hilarious, man. He beat up all them Jamaicans. Steven Seagal, man. Van Damme versus Bolo, that's a fact. He punched Bolo in the nuts, and that's how he beat him. Now that's a pause. You do a grown man do a split in the ring and punch that man in the balls. Jean-Claude Van Damme did a split in the ring and punched him in his balls. Man, we weren't hard to entertain, man. We were not hard to entertain. Bruce Lee, yeah, back in the day, what was that? No, that wasn't Game of Death. Was that Game of Death? The same one Bolo was in was the same one where he fought the dude in the room with all the mirrors. Was that Game of Death? Game of Death? No. He might have fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Game of Death. Bruce Lee was the real deal. I showed my sons where Bruce Lee fought Chuck Norris in that one movie. And yeah, we done got to the part of the live. Football is over with, man. We just vibing right now. So I could The people that's hanging out right now are the real ones. We just chopping it up, talking about something that it got nothing to do with nothing. Into the Dragon, that's what it was with Bolo. That's what what's his name? John Saxon was there. And then what was the black guy's name? Jim Kelly with the afro. That was in the Dragon. Yep. But when Bruce Lee fought Chuck Norris, remember the part when he fought Chuck Norris and he ripped out his chest hair? Remember that? Chuck Norris took off his shirt, and the man looked like he was half gorilla. Half gorilla. I'm telling you. And Bruce Lee ripped off a patch of his chest hair. Y'all remember that, man. And what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just showed up out of nowhere. My kids was cracking up when I showed them that movie. And they was dead wrong too, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the dirtiest feet. And when Bruce Lee walked up on him, he kicked him in his chest, and the footprint. Heck, let me move this out the way. Let me get that out the way. All right, here we go. Let me close this out. I was still minimized. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kicked him in his chest, and there was a footprint on Bruce Lee's chest this big. He had them dirty ass feet. Pardon my language, Rev. I apologize. But he had them dirty feet. Yeah. He had the dirtiest feet. I kid you not. My favorite Bruce Lee movie is still Fist of Fury, though. Chinese Connection. When it was him versus the Japanese, and he walked up into that dojo, and he cleared the whole room, and then somebody messed around and gave him some nunchucks. Why are we talking about Bruce Lee in the damn giant space? I don't know. It's late. Rest in peace, Walker, Texas Ranger. That's a fact. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris, for sure. Simeon, I'm telling you, why am I talking about Bruce Lee and the Giants in a late night Giants talk, man? We done got to that point where we just vibing, man. I'm gonna have to cut this whole part of the show out. VCR days, that's a fact. Over the Top was D Illa. That's how I know in real life we cool, man. We cool in real life. Over the Top was one of my favorite movies, and it resonated with me because my pops was a truck driver. My pops was a truck driver. Him and my mom's was not together. I had a step pops growing up. My pops used to just show up with his truck, take me on a road with him. Rest in peace to my pops. I'm just saying, Over the Top, you knew it was real when Sylvester Stallone turned his hat around. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But now we just Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze out there ripping people's throats out. Pause. I don't even know if I should pause that. Patrick Swayze ripped my man's throat out. Tango and Cash, that's another one. Sylvester Stallone and what's his name? The guy from Showdown in Little Tokyo. Now we talk about Desperado. Now y'all just throwing out stuff now. I got to go back to Roadhouse though. Shout out to Booker and Tackles. Roadhouse is a forgotten movie. Roadhouse was fire. Patrick Swayze was really out there beating people up for real, in probably the most realistic manner. Patrick Swayze had the tightest pair of jeans on and the hardest pair of shoes on, and he was out there whooping people. Again, these late 80s, early 90s movies, we were not hard to please growing up in that era. They could just do anything in movies and we would just believe it. The real Jim Kelly. Kurt Russell, thank you. Kurt Russell. And I watch Monarch right now too, and I couldn't remember his name. I get bad with names, man. I could tell you everything about the actor except their name. Nobody puts baby in the corner. You never saw Roadhouse, or you saying you saw Roadhouse? Okay, you saw Roadhouse. I'm about to say. I tried to show my kids Five Deadly Venom, Stace. I tried to show them that I guess it was a little too much kung fu. They can't get over the dub, over the American dub movies, kung fu movies. They from a whole different era. They don't understand. Five Deadly Venoms was fire. Only some people I know. You know what's crazy? I know from the era I grew up in, kung fu movies was that I don't know if everybody felt the same way about kung fu movies outside of a few people. Action Jackson. Yeah. Action Jackson. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Action Jackson was one of the movies too. Don't get me started on Bruce Leroy. Show enough. Yeah, man, it is what it is. Is that you got a Tombstone reference in here? Yeah, we watched it all, man. The last draft, Action Jackson was trash. It was trash, man. It was, but it was that era. But The Last Dragon, I ain't gonna lie, Last Dragon is a classic. I went back and watched that movie. Is trash. That movie was trash, man. The stuff that they got away with in the 80s is ridiculous. Jumpin' Jack Flash, that was another movie. Again, spent my summers in Alabama. Jumpin' Jack Flash was a movie I watched a lot. Rest in peace, Vanity. That's a fact. Vanity passed away like 10 years ago, man. Like 10 years ago, I think it was. I remember the movie with the blind swordsman. Yep. I can't remember the name of it, though. I know what you're talking about, though. The white dude that was out there running around with a sword. But remember last Gridiron, what's going on, man? I know you probably jumped on the live like, what is this guy talking about? We spent the first hour and a half talking Giants football, and then now we just been talking about old 80s, 90s movies, man. For real. And how trash those movies were, but at the time, we didn't know how bad they were. Last Dragon, his brother was tied up and he started breakdancing to get the ropes off him. He was breakdancing to get the ropes off. Blind Fury, that was the one with dude. Yeah. Highlander movies, old school Highlander movies. Straight trash. It's sad life. Luann said you were a baby, and they absolutely I was. That's why I said the 80s and the early 90s. I was still watching all the movies though. Kickboxer. For those that are from the tri-state area, remember the movies used to come on Saturdays, Channel 11, Channel 9. That's when you see all those movies that had the commercials in them. And for me, most of my life, I didn't have cable growing up. So those Saturday movies, I was dependent on that. That and Palmer Video, Blockbuster Video, all that stuff. Remember that? Remember Beastmaster? Corinne? Remember Beastmaster? Shout out to the people, man. Shout out to the people from the tri-state area. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. We had all the same channels, all the same radio stations. We was watching all the same stuff. I remember all the commercials. Remember the Milton Plaza? That commercial? Remember the Poconos commercial? I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. We talking about BS now. Simeon says until Mother's Group said they were too violent for kids. That's what happened? 4:30 movies on ABC. Upstate too. It's good to hear that, man. Channel 11, you had wait a minute. I thought WWF was on Fox. That wasn't on Fox. WWF was on 11. Was it on 11 first? Then it went to Fox? Because I remember Saturday mornings you had wrestling, and then right after wrestling you had American Gladiators. And American Gladiators was fire. American Gladiators was fire. Action Park. Good Lord. I'll tell you about USA, man. The times that I did have cable growing up, USA had the cartoons on it. Yeah. Oh man, that's a Channel 11 special right there. Xena and Hercules. Gridiron, what you know about Xena, man? He was younger than me. Oh, we about to have a real argument now. We about to have a real Greg teacher. I wanted to be American Gladiator. Nah, that's a fact. Especially at the end, they had to go through the gauntlet. But nah, where we at? We can have a real discussion now. Infamy 78 says best WWF wrestler was the Ultimate Warrior. We about to have us a conversation. I was heavy on Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior had so much aura. I don't even know if it was aura. He just run down the ring and start tossing people out of it. Channel 11 was WPIX. I don't know what it was. I just know it was Channel 11. I'm talking about way back in the day when the TV still had the dials on it. You had to spin the dial to change the channel. That's how old I'm talking about, man. I remember when the cable box only had 3 buttons. I remember that. The cable box had 3 buttons, the power on button and the channel up and down. That's the era I come from, that old. Y'all remember the cable box? Had 3 buttons. Cable box had 3 buttons, man. 3 buttons. Zenith TVs. I'm talking about the 60s. Yeah, I can't go back that far. Yanks won. What was the score, Luann? Did it go extra innings? Let me know. Nah, man, listen. Ultimate Warrior. I was a big Hulk Hogan fan growing up, though. You couldn't tell me nothing about Hulk Hogan. When the Undertaker beat Hulk Hogan, I cried. What was that, 91, 92, I think? Undertaker choke slam Hulk Hogan. It was over for me. I was a little Hulkamaniac and all that, man. British Bulldog used to bench press people over his head. Fire. I still, the best technical wrestler in that era. Again, this is the era, the late 80s, early 90s era for me was Bret Hart. Technically the best wrestler was Bret Hart. Bret Hart was nice. He didn't get the respect that he deserved. I remember he was like the Intercontinental Champion for like 10 years. They never gave him a chance to be the heavyweight world champion until, like, I don't know, he was too old and nobody believed he can beat the people that he can beat. But that's when I was in wrestling. After that, I started to, as soon as I caught the tail end, actually I caught the beginning of like the Stone Cold Rock era. And then after that, I was already playing football and not really watching wrestling after that. That was it for me. I remember Eddie Guerrero. I remember Harlem Heat. I remember when it was WWF and WCW. I remember when they used to swap people. When Hulk Hogan left and went to WCW, I think that's around the time I called it quits and threw in the towel. I think that might have been it for me. Lex Luger. Yeah. I remember Sid Vicious. Hold on. Yeah, I'm about to get out of it. I'm about to end at the top of the hour. 2 hours, man. We talking about nothing right now. We just vibing, though. I appreciate the people hanging out. It's still 100 people in here, man. I appreciate y'all because we ain't talking about nothing right now. And y'all in here vibing, and I appreciate that. Shout out to the Junkyard Dog. Infamy says I was a little warrior. Yo, you used to tie the strings around your arms too? You know, he had the strings around his bicep. Used to run around like that. When I was a kid, when I was really a kid, I used to think I was He-Man. I used to run around yelling, He-Man, I got the power, I have the power and all that stuff. But it was He-Man, it was freaking it was Hulk Hogan. And then I started playing football, and it was it after that. Things got a little bit more realistic. Shout out to the Andre the Giant. I never respected Andre the Giant. I saw his documentary. It was dope. It was dope. Didn't know what all he went through. Alcoholism and all that. Just depression. Shout out to the Big Show too, man. I was watching something on YouTube. You know how you do when you do the death stroll at night before you go to bed. And they were talking about all these wrestlers that spent all this time, you know, putting their bodies through hell. And now they just walking around looking like defeated old men. And it's sad. It is sad, man. Jake the Snake was fired too. You know what else didn't make sense? You know what else? Jake the Snake had a real snake in the ring with him. You can't even do nothing like that now. He had a real python in the ring. People and wrestlers will let him wrap a python around him. That's crazy. And Paul's on top of that too, man. But what? Jake the Snake was carrying around a boa constrictor. Jake the Snake didn't even have like a wrestler's body. That was an old school wrestler's body. He looked like a regular uncle out there beating people up. Hacksaw Jim Duggan hitting people over the head with a 2x4. Man. Boy, if I could go back just for like a day to the late 80s, early 90s, give me a week. Just to live that kind of life again as a kid, man, sign me up for that. I'll take 2 days. 2 days is enough. I can't do a week. Shout out to Zizou with the $10 super chat. Says Ultimate Warrior deserves a super chat. Just don't look up his later life. Yeah, we know. He was not a good dude in real life. That man ran into people for a living for 25 years. You wonder why a lot of those wrestlers is messed up. The crazy thing about it, just think about this, man. A lot of those wrestlers, when we were kids, those guys was born in the 40s. They were born in the 40s. It grew up an entirely different way. So it was not a surprise with a lot of the stuff that we were hearing about these guys later on. And don't know exactly what Ultimate Warrior was. I got to do it because it might be something even crazier than I think. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Because when you say, yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, we was definitely on steroids. Half of wrestling was on steroids. Ted Heenan, good Lord. Mr. Perfect was nice too. He didn't get a lot of credit. Mr. Perfect was a nice wrestler. The Mouth of the South. I'm gonna ask you guys a question, yo. I'm gonna ask you a question. Best trash talker in that 80s, early 90s era. Was it Macho Man or was it Ric Flair? Who was the best trash talker then? Was it And then if it's somebody else, let me know. But between Macho Man and Ric Flair, gotta be the best trash talkers. I got Ric Flair somewhere in here.
I can't help it that I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long. I can't help it.
Last time I played that, they made me cut that video out because I was copyrighted. It is what it is. I'll just leave it out if they hit me with it. Roddy Piper was a trash talker too. Roddy Piper might have the best movie of all wrestlers because They Live was fire. When he wore the sunglasses and he could see the aliens, that was probably the best movie for wrestlers. I'm not counting The Rock. I'm not counting John Cena. I'm just talking about guys that was wrestling and just did a movie here and there. Roddy Piper, yeah. And Roddy Piper fought like a dude on the streets. Remember that. That's why I like Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper fought like a real dude on the street. Like a real dude on the street. He used to come in with the jabs. He get the boxing, boop, boop. And he should hit you with the jabs and line up with the hook. Yeah, Roddy Piper was him. Dash, my dad used to sign autographs as Ric Flair. Your pops look like Ric Flair? I kid you not, people swore up and down. Listen, you got to share a pic on Twitter for me. I got to see a picture of what Pops looked like. He was signing records. Signing autographs as Ric Flair. That's crazy. He looked that much like Ric Flair. Now I got to look at you. Look. I don't know. I'm curious to see that. I'm curious to see that. Yeah, Goldberg is like when I started getting away from wrestling, I caught the tail, not even the tail, I caught the beginning of like Goldberg. Goldberg's spear was no joke, and Goldberg move looked like it was real. Like he was really hitting people like that. Goldberg played with Deion Sanders. Y'all know that, right? Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man, that's a fact. He said Dash to me doesn't look like, yeah, that happens like that. Razor Ramon, it was a toothpick he was plucking at people. It wasn't a cigarette, it was a toothpick. Shout out to Razor Ramon. Iron Sheik, man. Iron Sheik used to just grab you by the head and squeeze, and then and it was it. That was his finishing move. And trash. Nikolai Volkov. That was like, I barely remember Nikolai Volkov. I remember the name. I remember the Iron Sheik. That was a lot of the same time. They was done by the time we got to the 90s. Remember when Zeus, you mean? Remember when Debo beat Hulk Hogan, no holds barred? His name was Zeus. And then he turned that into a real career in WWF. That's a fact. Simeon Piper would, yeah. Roddy Piper was probably the realest guy out there. Just doing whatever he had to do to survive. It was real. I got to get out of here, man. Papa Shango, good Lord. They can't get away with some of the stuff now. Wrestling was wild. Wrestling was wild up until about 2010 probably. And then they started calming it down a little bit. They can't do nothing like they used to. Rev, you're going to have to tell me who Chief J Strongbone is. I can't even go back that far. I don't know who that is. I only know Tony Atlas because historically, that's the only way I know Tony Atlas. Because Tony Atlas and the Rock Pops was like a tag team thing, right? If I'm not mistaken. Earthquake and Typhoon, I remember those guys. What was the dude? What was the dude that had the tattoo on his head with the fire? And he was from Jersey. What was the guy that had the tattoo on his head? Chubby dude. He had the tattoo on his head. Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow. Thank you. Shout out to Jersey. Bam Bam Bigelow, if I'm not mistaken, was from Jersey. King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy had a whole bunch of hair on his back too. I remember that. Bam Bam Bigelow. Good Lord. Yeah. Yep. Road Warriors. Fire. Yeah, I don't know nothing about Chief J Strongbow. I ain't lying, Leo. I'm glad you know who he is. Rev taking us all the way back. He was an Indian guy that used to jump around with the tomahawk. Yeah, I don't remember that. Again, the stuff they got away with in wrestling in the early days, the stereotypes. The stereotypes in wrestling. Oh my God. What? This. And nobody cared. I didn't care either. That's just how we grew up. It just was what it was. Now everybody's so damn sensitive. It is what it is. We talked about Jake the Snake too, NYG, man. We was talking about that man had a live snake. And just imagine the snake. Just imagine the snake. You in the bag for the whole fight. Man, just take you out of the bag and then you supposed to just be tame. That's crazy, man. I'm surprised that snake ain't bite more people. C. Mully said, I'm getting out of here. Just stream that. Yeah, it's late, man. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. I got to get out of here myself. Elizabeth, that's Macho Man's wife or his girl. Mark Henry was fire strong, man. I'm telling you, man, that snake in that bag, that's crazy, man. And then some people scared of snakes anyway. Grown men scared of snakes. And you gotta let her. You sweaty as hell. You hot. Snakes can taste all that stuff, the sensories. And then somebody rap that snake probably bit a bunch of people. Z2 said, hit that like button, man. Shout out to 100 people still in the building. I don't know how it's still 100 people in here and we wild and talking about wrestling. Oh, Blue Blazer, Owen Hart. Good Lord. I remember that live. Remember that live? They wasn't even no commercial because it was pay-per-view. That man fell from the ceiling and died. But that's not even the crazy part. He fell out of the roof, died, and they kept the event going. We didn't know till the next day that Owen Hart was dead. Remember that? Vince McMahon is diabolical. Owen Hart fell, 40, 50 feet? That man died, and the show went on. They got him out of the ring. What was it? A 15-minute break delay, and the event kept going, and we ain't know till the next day that man was dead. That's crazy. Arlon, you don't remember that? Well, you might be young. I remember that, man. And now that I'm thinking about it, as a grown man, 30, what was it? This might have been 35 years ago, possibly? Maybe not that old. Like a good 30 years ago, right? Probably like 30 years ago. Something like that. It's 30 plus. SummerSlam. Yeah, you don't know about the man falling out the ring then. So I was born in 98. Yeah, nah. Yeah, man. Owen Hart, man. Owen Hart from the Hart family. That's wrestling royalty. They had a stunt. There was a stunt where he was supposed to rappel from the ceiling of the event of the arena. Something went wrong and he fell into the ring. And all you saw was them like people trying to help him, and then it went to like a break. They came back, nobody knew nothing. We thought, okay, yeah, he fell, he'll be all right. We found out the next day Owen Hart was dead. Crazy. The show went on. Back then, wrestling was like that. That was SummerSlam. That wasn't 99. It ain't no way in hell that was 99. That was 99. 78 feet. Wait a minute, that was 99. Brett did retire after that. That was 99. I thought it was like 95, 96. It was 99, huh? I graduated in 01, man. That was 99, huh? Still getting mine in the 199. Oh, man. He landed on the ropes? But at that height, did it matter? Still in the ring. Still in the ring. I thought it was earlier than that. That was 99, huh? You telling me that was that close to the whole Chris Jericho thing they was doing? Remember the Chris Jericho thing? They made Chris Jericho seem like it was the biggest thing ever. The Y2K and all that. Chris Jericho was trash. Respectfully. I'm sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings with that comment. Chris Jericho was like 5'9". He might have been 205 pounds. And you mean, never mind. It is what it is. Almost an 8-story fall. All I know is that man died and they kept the show going. And we found out the next day. Found out the next damn day. It was 99. Okay. Sheesh. Shit, I was 16 in 99. It is what it is. May 23rd. Somebody done Googled it. There you go. May 23rd, 1999. There it is. All right, man. I know we having fun. But I'm getting up out of here, man. It is almost 11:15 on the East Coast. Not too late here, but I got to get up out of here. We can pick up this conversation another time. Let me tell you something, man. If y'all just want to have crazy reminiscing stories, let me know, because we can do that more often. Because I can sit here and talk about the 80s and the early 90s and even some of the 2000s if we want to do it, if people want to do it. But I got to get out of here. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.